South Korea captain Ki Sung-young missed out on the chance for his 100th cap while he was returning from a minor injury, with Lee Jae-sung, Koo Ja-chol and Kim Jin-soo also looking to recover in time for Russia. It forced Korea's coach Shin Tae-yong to experiment, bringing back Crystal Palace star Lee Chung-yong to the side and handing a debut to Lee Sung-yu. They came up against a Honduras side still reeling from the playoff defeat against Australia, playing their first match since then. After a nervy first half, with little action and no goals, Korea made two changes just after the break. Lee Chung-young had an injury and Moon Sun-min came off the bench, while Hong Chol, whose performance at left-back was, to say the best, average, came out for Kim Min-woo. These substitutions would have a major effect on the game. Lee would take the ball off a Honduran player and find Son Heung-min, whose thundercunt from 30 yards finally put the Koreans ahead. And Moon soon got his own goal, dancing around the Honduran defence to somehow find the back of the net. It finished Korea 2, Honduras 0. Perhaps a bit of hope for the Korean fans, although they'll have to perform better than that to get past a bit better sides such as Germany and Mexico. 4-4-2 was an interesting experiment for the Koreans, although it seems not to click at first. They'll probably want to use it in their remaining friendlies to try and get it to work, if they want to use it in the actual tournament. Hong, I doubt he'll want to. I doubt Shin will want him to start at left back. I think he was pretty poor. Go was alright at right back. Son, who was captain for the day with Ki out, I think that he was alright. I mean, the opposition really need to be cautious of him. The fact is, if he's marked and pressurised properly, he can't really do much. But a bit of time, a bit of space, well, you can see what the end result can be. Ju as well, who came in for Ki, he was alright, I suppose, but I doubt he'll play if Ki does. It was a good enough performance from Korea, but in the first half, I reckon they were pretty poor, to be honest. But if it clicks, if it works, they could, be a bit of a dark horse, maybe get out the group. They're in quite a tough group, to be honest. Mexico, Sweden. I doubt anyone will challenge Germany. So, I don't know. It's an interesting performance, certainly, and tactical shift, we'll see how it goes. Fresh from losing to Spanish club side Atletico Madrid, Nigeria would hope to return to winning ways against Congo DR. Their side handed a debut to Simeon Nwankwo, and the average age was just 24. But the experimental side got off to a good start, Willem Troost-Ekong putting the hosts ahead. The pitch was quite poor in Nigeria, however the host tried to hold on. But Ola Reiner gave away a penalty in Port Harcourt, and Malango Nagita made sure that the Congolese converted. It finished in a disappointing draw. Hopefully on the Wembley pitch, Nigeria won't have the same issues. They can blame the pitch all they want, but Nigeria simply weren't good enough in that game. Their defence looked shaky and nervous, and it was a soft penalty that they gave away. And although they did score a goal, their attack just wasn't potent enough when considering the chances they had. You think if they can't deal with Congo DR, how will they manage to deal with Argentina and Croatia, or even Iceland for that matter? It looks like it'll be another disappointing World Cup unless they can get these things sorted. It should be noted that this was an experimental side, but even so, we'll have to see how they do against England and see how they can perform against bigger European sides. IR Iran have their work cut out if they want to get past the group stage in Russia, especially considering that both Spain and Portugal are expected to take their top two spots. Their famous defence that only shipped 2 goals in their final qualifying group might have to perform better than they did against Turkey if they want any hope of advancing. Early on, Cenk Tosun spread them apart like butter, and things got worse after the second half, a through ball finding the Everton man, who calmly converted to make it 2-0. The visitors did get a late goal,
when Turkey substitute Bayram handballed it on the line and got a red card, Ashkan Dejiga calmly slotting away the penalty. But it was a disappointing result and a disappointing performance by Iran's back line, who need to think of improvements if they want to have any impact in Russia.
Group G outsiders Tunisia travelled to Braga to see if they could show what they were worth against European champions Portugal. But it was the host that led, Andre Silva's header preceding João Mario's strike from outside the box. But Portugal showed what their ageing defence had frailties, and Iran and Morocco will surely take heart from Anis Badri pulling one back and Fakhreddin Ben Youssef making a mockery of them to draw 2-2. What this does show is that Portugal will be a bit frail, and Morocco, Iran, definitely Spain can take advantage. But Tunisia showed what they were worth. England and Belgium take note. However, can they really get the points necessary to make it out of the group? Probably not. They'll be hoping for a win against Panama, and if they get that, anything can happen with a couple of good results against England and Belgium. Saudi Arabia travelled to Italy hoping to get a taste of European giants before Russia 2018, although Gliazzurri's stock must have fallen as they did not qualify for the tournament. Balotelli made it sure that Italy would take the lead early on, and Andrea Bellotti made new coach Roberto Mancini a happy man. Yahya Al-Shehri did take advantage of some woeful Italian defending, but Saudi Arabia will surely have to perform better than that if they want to get past any European giants, especially when considering if they do get past Group A, they'll face one of Spain or Portugal most likely in the round of 16. It finished Italy 2, Saudi Arabia 1, and it does show the weaknesses in Saudi Arabia's defence that need to be changed before the tournament. France kicked off their preparations to Russia 2018 with a friendly win against an experimental Republic of Ireland side. Les Bleus had some changes of their own, but it was Olivier Giroud who bundled in a rebound after his initial header was saved by Colin Doyle. Unfortunately for Doyle, the Bradford goalie became the villain, as he poorly handled Nabil Fekir's finish to make it 2-0. But in a game where France had 18 chances, they won't be disappointed to only convert 2, especially the second being the way it was. They'll need to be more lethal in Russia, and hopefully their more established starters can provide a better attack than that. Mexico travelled north to Pasadena to see if they could get past an experimental Wales side containing Chris Miffan as a new centre-back. But it was the other centre-back, Ashley Williams, who had to go off early with an injury, so Aaron Ramsey was handed the captain's armband. Mexico tried and tried and tried, but they could not blow down the house, with goalkeeper Wayne Hennessy putting in a man-of-the-match performance. It does cause some consternation amongst El Tri. If they can't get past Wayne Hennessy, they might find it an even tougher task to get past the likes of Manuel Neuer in the World Cup. It finished 0-0, and there's plenty of questions for the Mexicans ahead of Russia.